Look at the color on that thing. Oh my gosh. I hate to do this because I'm feeding into the hype, but I am willing to pay $100 over retail. Thanks for tuning in to Bourbon Drop. I'm your host Myron. Today we've got a sample on the channel of something that I have been waiting to get my hands on. Shout out to Shane, man. Shane, I told him, I said, look, 13th Colony, they have limited distribution. It will be in your area. It will be in the state of Texas. He said he was going to keep an eye out. And the funny story is, he goes into the store and just asks the guy, hey, do you have anything special? And the guy was like, well, I've got over 300 bottles of bourbon. I mean, you know, I should have something special. So he tells the guy, well, look, 13th Colony, he says, High West, and he says something else, Four Roses. And the guy goes to the back, comes back out with a box, and shows him the 13th Colony Double Oak, and then kind of goes in on him and tell him that he doesn't need to really be looking for just only allocated stuff. But anyway, that's another story. So shout out to you, Shane, man. I really appreciate it. I have been waiting a long time because, I told you, it does not come to my state. Distribution is limited. I think the first release in 2022 did about 1,800 or so bottles. This year, I think it was around 3,500, 3,400, something like that. I don't know all of the information about it off the top of my head now. What I found a little weird is their website, people say it's 10 years old, but their website doesn't say it's 10 years old. Their website doesn't say what the age is. I don't have the bottle. Shane sent me a picture, but I couldn't make it out whether or not it was on a bottle. I don't think it was on a bottle, and even looking at pictures on my phone. So I'll give you the rundown. It says that it was only released to Georgia, Tennessee, Texas, and Arkansas. I did not know this. They finish it with toasted maple wood. So I don't know if it's just maple wood staves or maple wood pieces that they put in there that are toasted. I don't know how they finish it, but it says tasting notes of maple smoked bacon, which I love, cream soda, orange blossom, toffee blend with maple drizzled pancakes. That, if that's not mouth watering, I don't know what it is. Dry aged beef, peppercorn, sea salted caramel with a very long finish. But like I said, once again, they don't give the age, so I don't know how old it is. And like I said before in some of my videos when we talked about Elijah Craig, age to me is nothing but a number when it comes to good bourbon. They do, however, give an age, a very, very specific window for just their Southern bourbon. They say 4 to 6 years. So this one right here, they don't give an age on. Like I said, I've heard 10 years. I'm not 100% sure. So, without further ado, I've been talking enough. Let's get it to the nose. Nice sweet oak. You do get some of that maple in there too, man. That thing is thick. Look at the color on that thing, man. That thing is like motor oil, man. Good God almighty. Look, that thing is just sticking to the glass. Let's go back in. Yeah, it's a really, really sweet oak. It's got a really sweet flavor. I mean, nose on it. It's almost a little floral to me. And with a little bit of that like magic marker note. A really sweet maple. I am picking up like almost like juice, like some type of fruit juice, like fruit punch, not like a grape juice, like a fruit punch. And floralness. Now I did have myself a warm-up pour because this thing does come in at 136.8 proof. I did not want to dive into that high of a proof on camera without having anything first. So let's get it to the palate. Oh my gosh. It lives up to the hype. It lives up to the hype. Cinnamon, brown sugar, orange, like chocolate covered orange slices. It's got a really nice finish on it. Not too much char. It is not over finished with char at all. It's got this very nice vanilla cream going on. Wow, man. And it's so well rounded. It's not spiky at all. Let's go back in one more time. That lives up to the hype. That lives up to the hype. I see why. Now I'm starting to pick up a little bit of cherry in the background. I see why Wow, black pepper. I mean, this thing, you just keep picking up things as you go along, man. Wow, this is. I hate to do this because I'm feeding into the hype, but good gracious, man. It's so well rounded. It's very balanced. Let me bring myself down a little bit, but it's very well rounded. It's very balanced. It's very flavorful, very complex. Brown sugar, cinnamon, chocolate covered orange slices, vanilla cream. It's got a little bit of cherry coming in the back. Oh my gosh, it's really good. The char is great. The finish is still going on. I see why this is at the top of some people's list already for the year. When I do my 2023 list, this will definitely be in the top 5, if not top 3. So we are going to put this side by side with my number 3 of 2022, because at 136.8, you would think that ethanol would punch me in the nose. No. You would think it would punch me in the palate. No, did none of that. It is very well rounded. It drinks so easy. Like I said, I did have a warm-up pour. I had to get a warm-up pour with Wild Turkey 101, because I needed something slightly proofy to, kind of ease me into 136.8. But the number 3 from last year comes in at 132.2. So I'm going to pour a little bit of that up. I would have done these blind, but I said, you know what? That would have just made the video longer. I just want to give you guys the tasting notes, the nosing notes, see if it holds up against, my number 3 of 2022. And I figure, why not throw a third one in there? I've never reviewed this on the channel. You do see that there is quite a bit gone out of the bottle. I've had it for probably a year and a half now. Appreciate it. Thank you to my man CA. Wow, wrong glass. But no, I figured I'd throw in the Nulu toasted, since we're doing double oak with the 13th colony. But the Nulu comes in at 116 proof, so it's about 16 proof points lower than this one, and about 20 proof points or so lower than 20 proof points lower than the 13th colony. So I'm not going to really like mix these up and put them on a wheel. I'll just give you some nose and notes. Heavily oaky. This is the Parker's Heritage Double Barrel Blend. This, like I said, this was my number 3, and the only reason why it didn't come in higher is because it had a little, just a smidge too much char in the back. So the Russell's 13 batch 3 that I had wound up beating it out for number 2. But anyway, let's get into the nose and the palate. Yeah, super oaky, just super oaky on the nose. Touch of ethanol. Let's go into the palate. I see why it was my number 3. Goodness gracious. Oh, that butterscotch. You know me. I love butterscotch. Butterscotch, brown sugar, slight white table sugar in there. The funny thing is, there it is. I was about to say the funny thing is I'm not picking up as much char, but as soon as I kind of shut my mouth a little bit, it went from the mid all the way to the back, and it's just staying there. I am not going to clean. You guys know how I do it. This is Nulu Double Oak coming in at 116. It was finished in the secondary barrel for 5 months. I can't remember how long this one was, and I don't remember because I think only the 13 year was double oaked in this blend. I think that's why they called it the double barrel blend. And I don't remember how long the 13th colony was aged for, matured with the maple wood for. So let's get into the Nulu. Nose kind of smells citrusy. Citrus and pepper. Yeah, nothing special. Like that maple was coming out of the glass on the 13th colony, and just like heavy oak on the Parker's Heritage. This is just like I said, citrus and pepper. All right, let's go into the palate. That Nulu is nothing to sneeze at either, man. When you drink this Nulu beside some, and like I said, I don't know how old the 13th Colony is. If it's younger juice in it, they are hiding it extremely well. But this Nulu doesn't say on the back either. But its youthfulness comes out alongside the other two. So, like I said, it is said that the 13th Colony is 10 years old. We know that this has 13 and 15-year-old in it. And this one right here, I don't know. Of course, it's got to be over 4 because it's nowhere on the label, and it does say straight on the front. So I would think that that's probably somewhere around 6 years old. It, you know, just based off the fact that most Nulus, when you look at the bottle, is somewhere around 6 years old. But when you drink it beside older products, and I'm assuming that is older because of how it's coming off as being so well balanced, some of those youthful, spikier notes or younger, grainier notes do come out. Now, when I drink this thing on its own, I like Nulu. I pick it up slightly, but it isn't as prevalent. Drinking it side by side with some older stuff, you really can't tell. But it is very good. I love that chocolatey sweetness in there. I love that butterscotch that's in there, that caramel that's in there. But I am going to have to say that, yeah, it beats my number 3. Let's get into the breakdown. Is it worth the chase? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. You've already seen the video and you know how I feel about this bottle. It's just an amazing bottle. Is it worth over retail? Now, I know that this is going to sound like a lot, but I am willing to pay $100 over retail. That is the most I've ever said I would pay over retail for a bottle on this channel. And I have to keep it all the way 100 with you, because this bottle right here, it's so hard to get, so hard to get. If you found it for $250, that is a steal. I mean, it retails for $150. You guys know, if you've been watching the channel, I will go up to my $30 over retail. If I really like a bottle, I will go up to $50, sometimes $60 over retail. This right here, I am willing to go $100 over retail. We're not giving it to a new bourbon drinker. It's 136.8, so we're not covering that. Will it always be on a bar? If I had this bottle here in the Bourbon Drop studio, it would never leave the bar. I've got bottles that I'm like, okay, that's a special occasion pour. I probably would take maybe 1 sip per year to try. And like when people come over that have never had it, you know, like people who are experienced bourbon drinkers, because I would not waste this on someone who is not an experienced bourbon drinker and just burn their face off. But really quick, I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. My brother-in-law came over. He had a stressful Thanksgiving. He was doing some cooking before he came over to bring over some dishes. I saw that he came up in the kitchen with a Glen about halfway poured, right? And I was like, man, that looks kind of dark. So then he cracks open the Pepsi, and I tried not to judge. I tried not to judge. So I said, well, that's kind of dark. And he's about to mix it with a Pepsi. I was like, well, what did he have? So then I go downstairs to the bar, and I kept looking around like, well, there's really not any bottles out of place. So then later on, I noticed that my Russell's 13 Batch 4 had been shifted to the side. And that's what he was drinking on. So anyway, back to 13th Colony's Double Oak. If I had it on a bar, I would share it with experienced bourbon drinkers who could appreciate it. Myself, I would probably only have it once per year. And with that being said, let the whiskey flow. Never run out unless you head into a drop. Till next time.